7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey there guys, so it's that time of year where I do my top 10 films of 2024, and this is my favourite video to do since it's a celebration of great films that came out last year. Now before I start with my top 10, I do have a handful of honourable mentions. Civil War, an absolute thriller of a movie that's about journalism in a near dystopian future, and in comparison it's not far from our world. Monster, a coming of age story of self-discovery, a story of love and friendship and how the story accepting oneself for who we truly are and what we become. Inside Out 2, it captures all the wonderful magic of the first film, but also gives us a great insight to new emotions, especially anxiety. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, a thrilling start to a new trilogy that goes back to its science fiction roots. Transformers 1, a Transformers movie I've been waiting my whole life for. This film goes deep with its character development with Optimus Prime and Megatron. It's a shame this film bombed at the box office. Wallace & Gromit: Vengeance Most Foul. This would technically be my number 11. It has all the joy of an Aardman production, and as a hardcore Wallace & Gromit fan since I was a little kid, it's every bit of endearing, every bit of cheekiness, fun, clever, endearing, as I hoped it would be. And number 10 is We Live in Time, a well-made movie that's full of heart, humour and a punch of emotional weight. Florence Pugh and Andrew Garfield gives an incredible raw performance, and the way they play off each other pulls your heartstrings. The way the story is told in this movie is slightly different than you expect, but it perfectly works. These characters and the world they live in feels real, and from the moment it starts, it has you invested.
Honestly, this is ridiculous.
At number 9 is The Apprentice, and I'm surprised no one's talking about this film. To be fair, this was under the radar during the election, and I thought this was going to be a simplistic demonisation of Donald Trump, but this adds depth and shading to him, especially exploring the whole corrupt influence of Roy Cohn on his physique and mind. Sebastian Stan is unrecognisable as the young Donald Trump, and to me this is a fascinating biopic that has that cool home video look to it. To me, this biopic doesn't show Donald Trump in a negative or positive way. It just shows you the things he did, and what he did wasn't for the best.
We have a brand new campaign slogan. Let's make America great again.
Well, I like the again part.
At number 8 is Deadpool Wolverine. To me, this was my most anticipated film of 2024, and I watched this 3 times in the cinema. To me, this is the most entertaining film of the year. Ryan Reynolds is incredibly funny, and on top of that you've got the bromance with Hugh Jackman and Wolverine, which is so charismatic and full of energy. The cameos themselves are just insane, and the way they tie into the narrative, this is what Multiverse of Madness should have been. And it's incredibly satisfying watching the action scenes playing out to the beats of the songs, especially the opening. To me, Deadpool Wolverine was the true love letter to the Fox universe.
Fucking go! Let's fucking go.
And number 7 is Sing Sing. This film explores the hardships of prison, but also finding a purpose in a bleak environment. The theatre gives these inmates, even the wrongly convicted ones, hope, escapism and friendship. And I love the hope that this movie had me feeling. This film reminds us, even for people who society have thrown away, there is still good meaning and joy through artistic expression.
Again, like a king, everything is yours. I'm divine now. Yeah, this is my theater. Now give him some love, give him some love.
And number 6 is The Iron Claw. Now I saw this back in February because I live in the UK, but when I watched this I was emotionally speechless and completely gutted. To me, this film adds a new shade of light into the wrestling world, but also shows us the tragic story of wrestling's most famous family. The performances are incredible, and I've been waiting for a long time for a script and a story that Zac Efron deserves. And in this film, he is beyond incredible. He goes above and beyond, and it's a shame he wasn't nominated for an Oscar.
The only thing that matters to me.
Laverne will forever be the greatest family in the history of wrestling.
And number 5 is Perfect Days. To me, this is the most relatable film on this list. Even though this is a slice of life movie, it's very plotless, but somehow Wim Wenders makes it striking and riveting. Koji Yakusho gives a joyous yet hidden sadness performance, and the way this film allows us to see the world in his eyes and the beauty of nature, food, small interactions with people and listening to music, The way I would sum up this movie is treat every day as a gift.
今度ね。
今度っていつ？
今度は今度。今は今。
At number 4 is The Substance, and this one really changed my perspective on the whole body horror genre. This is the most raw, insane, crazy, balls to the walls, disgusting movie I watched in 2024. This should obviously win an Oscar for practical effects. Demi Moore and Margaret Qualley deserves all the awards, of course, but Dennis Quaid is incredible and he deserves more recognition. For a body horror movie, it goes through some interesting themes like accepting yourself and living in the past and the nature of Hollywood. Once you get to that certain age, you'll just get replaced by a younger model.
There's been a slight misuse of the substance.
At number 3 is Daft Punk's Interstellar 5555. This one is a bit of a curveball because yes, it's not a recent release, and yes, it is maybe a movie, or technically it's just an hour-long music video. But if I didn't put this on this list, I'm not honest with myself. And if I'm not honest with myself, I might as well not do this video. So the film is about this extraterrestrial pop band that gets abducted by a greedy record producer, brainwashes them and disguises them as humans so he can claim fame and fortune. This is basically a bunch of music videos from Daft Punk's Discovery album all cropped together. There's no dialogue in this movie, but it's visually told with its narrative thanks to a spectacular structure and swiftly paced sequences thanks to anime director Leiji Matsumoto. I watched this a few weeks ago on the big screen, and I know there's an argument to be made like, oh, you could have just watched a playlist on YouTube. No, it's not the same because you've got adverts and pop-ups. And the Discovery album from Daft Punk is one of my favourite albums growing up, so I do have a lot of nostalgia for this. This is nothing more than a long music video, but it's an epic magical journey.
One more time.
At second place is the documentary Superman: A Christopher Reeve's Story. Now, Christopher Reeves is my favourite Superman, and I've been waiting for a documentary like this for a long time. Even though we've had stories told here and there, but not on this depth and scale. This talks about the rise, the fall, and the eventually re-rise of Christopher Reeves and his stellar career. And it talks so much more rather than just being Superman and the accident. This talks about his friendship with Robin Williams. This talks about how he wanted to do other roles, but he was typecast as Superman, and the Christopher and Diana Reeves Foundation helped so many lives. It captures the transformation from beloved actor into real-life hero through tirelessly advocacy, medical advancements, spinal cord research, and disability rights. Even though after the accident he couldn't move, he was still Superman.
I wouldn't have missed this for the world.
At number 1 is The Wild Robot. From the very first scene, this film takes you to a magical journey to an island that's bursting with life and beauty. The heart of this story is Roz's transformation from machine with a purpose to creature with a heart. The animation alone is simply stunning with its brushstrokes and lighting. The Wild Robot isn't just a film for kids or animation fans. It's for everyone who loves a good story that doesn't shy away from life complexities like death and survival, but wraps it up in a hopeful, uplifting narrative. To me, The Wild Robot is my favourite DreamWorks movie since Shrek 2, and that was like 20 years before.
Sometimes, to survive, we must become more than we were programmed to be.
Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Go like, share and subscribe. Let me know what are your top 10 films of 2024. Go check out my Facebook, my Twitter and my Instagram page. You guys are awesome. I've got your back.